Of crack in the ground that's estimated to be up to 50 feet deep has opened up in Kenya seemingly overnight. The crack stretches along Kenya's Great Rift Valley, and many scientists believe it could end up splitting the continent apart. Deborah Pata is tracking developments from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Imagine waking up one morning to find a massive crack running through your home. That's what happened to Elliot in Jaguna, forced to dismantle his house by hand before it was lost to the earth below. He lives in Mai Mahiu, part of the Great Rift Valley in Kenya, a region that has already provided a treasure trove of some of the most important archaeological finds in history. And this latest discovery is so significant, scientists predict it will be the fault line along which history is made once again as Africa splits into two continents.
Let's go to Ohio now, where authorities are planning to release toxic chemicals from cars of a derailed train just to try to reduce the threat of more explosions. Those enormous explosions have been causing huge fires there since that derailment happened Friday night, sending toxic chemicals just streaming into the air. As for residents living near that crash site, they have been asked to get out of there. EPA crews are testing the air and the water around that area regularly, and although the water is discolored, they say it is safe to drink. Right now, the NTSB investigators are trying to piece together what caused that derailment in the first place, but preliminary investigations are pointing to possible mechanical issues.
We begin with breaking news, an earthquake on a terrifying scale. Officials say it's a magnitude 7.8 quake centered near the border between Turkey and Syria. And there have been multiple strong aftershocks. More than 1,300 people are dead, and that number is expected to rise as rescue workers dig through the rubble. It's one of the strongest earthquakes ever to hit this area, and there's reports that it was felt up to 1,000 miles away. MTS Tayeb has the very latest.
The scale of the devastation is hard to fathom as rescue workers desperately search for survivors in the biting cold. Some people, still trapped under the rubble, are posting videos of themselves on social media begging for help. The early morning 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck as most people slept. Since then, there have been dozens of aftershocks, the most recent and strongest measuring 7.5. So little has been spared, including the city of Gaziantep's historic castle, which has stood for over 2,000 years. Parts of it now in ruins. Just over the border in the last rebel-controlled corner of Syria, which is packed with some 4 million people displaced from the country's long and brutal civil war, even more misery as the smallest survivors are pulled from the rubble and as hospitals overflow with the injured and the dead. The opposition's Syrian civil defense, known as the White Helmets, are no stranger to rescuing people from large-scale destruction, but even they have never witnessed anything like this. Even they have never witnessed anything like this.
Northwest Syria now, it's a disaster area. We need help from everyone to save our people.
Turkey sits on one of the world's most active fault lines and is frequently shaken by earthquakes. Back in 1999, around 18,000 were killed when a powerful quake struck the northwest of the country.
Now, for those of us who have reported extensively on the Syrian war and from eastern Turkey, I can tell you there are few places on earth that are home to as many millions of people already traumatized and displaced by war than there. And now this massive disaster. Making matters even worse, the earthquake comes as the Middle East is experiencing a bitterly cold snowstorm that is expected to last all week. David.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 5. I am the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girt thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, do all these things. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, teaching us His truth, according to the Bible and rule well. And thou shalt warm the sincere Akim throughout the four corners of Europe, pushing this truth with diligence and sincerity and in charity. And another shall warm the sincere followers, believers of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, not the tears of the word, but doers as well. You men, women, and children, hopefully like Shalom. And as you can see from these videos that have been queued up, you know, it's no one else but Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly and willingly calls God in Jesus Christ. He's visiting the earth, all right, with great power. And he controls the light, the dark. He makes peace and create evil. And we're living in a time of evils, man. Eve meaning time, ill meaning bad. The Lord said he does all these things. And that's what you see going on. You got the earth opening up in Africa. All right. Scientists are saying that Africa's being split in two right now. And no one's talking about it. No one's talking about the workers of the Lord, but the men of the Lord. Starting off with the head apostles and elders of great millstone on down. You got all these explosions from these what was it, the train. All right, you have the earthquakes over there in what was it, Syria? I forgot where it was at. But that's the Lord. All right, and the Lord said, you know, many great miseries shall happen. Was that 2nd Ezra's? I'm not quite sure on the title's lesson. Just maybe the Lord is visiting this place, because that's what he is. He's bringing the pain. This is 2nd Ezra 8:50. For many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter times shall dwell in the world. And we are in the latter times, man. We know that by taking heed to the signs. All right, and the major signs are the prophets. Start with the head apostles and elders of great millstone on down, telling you that the Lord is doing these things. And these will be signs that he would show in the earth prior to his arrival. All right, it says, because they have walked in great pride. Many great miseries, bad times are going to be done. And you're seeing it, man. Because the people have walked in great pride, man. From Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all the way down to the heathens, all the way down to 2/3 of the nation of Israel, which consists of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. Okay. Let's get some more precepts. 2nd Ezra 9. It says, he answered me then and said, measure down the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Not some spark in the galaxy that created some big bang. Now you got animals, plants, and monkeys evolving into humans. Come on, man. Come on. It says, therefore, verse 3, when there shall be seen earthquakes, and that earthquake was crazy, man. I forgot the magnitude of what that earthquake was, but it was just dropping buildings like it was nothing. And these are the times we're living in, man. Maybe think about Psalms 91. All right. 1,000 shall fall by thy... A matter of fact, let's get it real fast and we'll come back, Lord willing. All right, that's Psalms 91, I believe. Because we, the hopeful elect, we're going to be in a situation where we see these things happening, man. All right. And the Lord's going to protect us. That's why it's very important to take heed to the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai now. Right? Psalms 91. It says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Which is these scriptures. It says, I will say of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, my power, in him will I trust. That's right, man. And that's the way you be protected. All right, so let's go down some. Verse 7. It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand. but it shall not come nigh thee. Verse 8, only with thy eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. You see? And you know, when them buildings was dropping, it made me think about this, man. There was people who survived those earthquakes, survived those buildings falling, but it was a lot that didn't, man. All right, and these times that we're living in, you best believe buildings gonna be falling, all types of havoc and chaos is gonna be coming, man. All right, but scriptures say, Psalms 91:7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh unto thee. But the destruction. The destruction. All right. So let's go back. 2nd Ezra 9. It says, verse 2, Salaki verse 3, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand, verse 4, that the Most High spake of those things that were before the day, from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like all that is made in the world have a beginning and the end is manifest. Even so, in times also the highs are plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. All right, and the ground opening up like that, splitting Africa in two, is a powerful work, man. The earthquakes are a powerful work, all at the hands of our power, our true and living God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, man. All right, why didn't them heathens pray to their gods to protect them? Right? Because they're not true. They're not living like our power is, man. That's why he's to be feared. Let's grab maybe one more, two more, wrap it up. Let's go to Isaiah 29. The Lord told us he was going to visit. Isaiah 29. This is Isaiah 29:6. It says, thou shalt be visited of the Lord, not Mother Nature, of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with the storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. So these are some of the ways the Lord visits earth, man. All right. This is all at the hands of who you ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ, man. So what should, you Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, what should your mindset be? Let's get it. Last precept. Deuteronomy 10:12. And now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy power require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, thy power with all thy heart, which is your mind, with all thy soul. To keep the commandments of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. That's what you need to do. Shalom.